My name is Marilyn. I am a targeted individual. I live in Kettering, Ohio. I am tortured 24 hours a day, nonstop. And across the street, ironically, as I started this video, a psychiatrist from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base moved in across the street. She's from Florida. And she's currently pregnant. I don't know if she's actually involved in my targeting. I just have a hard time dealing with my situation knowing that the military is across the street. I have a hive that consists, and hive meaning in synthetic telepathy, about 20, 30, even 40 people at any given time, connected brain to brain. And I want to share my personal experience with trying to escape. I have learned a lot from Brian too, and many of us have watched him, learned from him, and wondered about him. And you should probably listen to Brian too. Except one major point. That if you leave the country, wherever you are, that when you leave the country, your targeting will change. Now, I have fallen for this a few times. If I move to another state, if I leave the country, if I go in a cave, if I go to the tallest mountain. So, he has a video dated January 20th, 2020. I haven't listened to it, but the title, it says, "Get Out, Day Will Soon Come When Targeted Individuals Will No Longer Be Able to Cross State Lines." Now I'm basically re-understanding what he means. And I have a passport. My companion, who I have no intention of leaving, they're trying to separate us so that I can be more vulnerable to torture and murder from a white supremacist group of perps that live in Kettering, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio. I have white supremacists attacking me. This may not be the case for everyone. And they've recruited a very large psychopathic group of blacks who are at the poverty level. And how they did this is that they mind hacked them, recruited them through voice to skull. They've never met their handlers. Most of them have never met their handlers. Most of them don't know who the handlers are. They are given gifts in a car by cab, such as drugs, cash. They have been put in apartments. They don't know who's paying for the apartments. If they do, they're not telling me. They don't know who operates the computer system. And as far as I can tell, they didn't even know what they were doing when they started to talk to me through a voice to skull, communicating to my brain to brain. That they didn't know about the word targeted individual. They didn't know what remote neural monitoring was. They called it virtual sex because they were doing pornographic mind holograms with each other, where they would think of things and share each other's perverted thoughts, and they would have sex orgies and humiliating touching of oneself while looking at illegal activity, which is online, but in their brains together. They're creating this. Child pornography, basically. So, I want to leave the country. And I want to leave the country permanently. I am one of those people. And that's my personal choice. And I have already tried. And unfortunately, when I got to the other country, I could hear the people from Ohio. And I was tortured worse. Because they're poor and they're jealous and they're black. That Brian, too, doesn't have the same synthetic telepathy as me. He worked for the Department of Defense. I'm just a poor black woman that lives in Ohio. We're not going to have the same kind of targeting. I would love to go to South America. I had thought about South America. And I desperately want to escape. I will not go overseas with these people watching me. They will ruin it. They will make me so unhappy that I'll have to leave. When I just had a thought about leaving again, they all got excited and it's hatred. That's not pleasure. They chose to look through my eyes as a large group and they hate me and they torture me. My hair's falling out. I have 2 different handlers operating a computer system. One is forcing my hair to fall out. The other one's breaking my right leg. Kettering and Dayton gang stalkers are different. I have 2 ideologies behind my targeting. It's misogynist. I'm raped every day. Imagine again that I would be that stupid to go back to the same place, basically a similar place, and be tortured to death in a foreign country with different politics, a whole set of gang stalking tactics that are different, because you get gang stalked, the same vehicular stalking, but a different political view about it, I guess, is what I mean. My other channel, like they're trying to make decisions for me. My other channel was Chapelizanta, and I had about 223 subscribers. This channel I have 4, and I started this channel. This is a Chinese word I cannot pronounce, and I chose it specifically because my black gang stalkers and synthetic telepathy are stealing my passwords. They're trying to steal anything they can. They're writing down personal information about me. I'm not going to mention this woman until I find her. I'm tired of mentioning her name online. She likes the attention. She's a psychopath. She's asking me questions while I'm asleep and writing down the answers about my life. They're trying to figure out how to get into my bank account. I just got a new bank account because I just got a new job. And, I want to save this money so I can get free. I specifically want this job to liberate myself, to set myself free. So back to Brian too. What is he saying? He's leaving the country repeatedly, and he's getting battered and abused. Now, you can't leave comments on this video. I think you should watch it. If you don't have synthetic telepathy, I'd leave the country. If you have a hive of people that are normal, that seem to you that they have their own resources. See, I have people attached to me that are so jealous of everything. A bag of groceries comes into the house. And see, they're using their resources to buy powder cocaine and crack, and they're at the poverty level. There's a beautiful little brown bird outside. I've never seen one before. Wow. Wow, that is a cute little bird. I wonder what that is. You know, I love animals. They're so cool. Anyway, he's just like, I gotta put more bird seed in the feeder. Mostly sparrows came. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could talk to Brian too and say, okay, now that you're there, I just want to get rid of these people in Kettering. I just want them to get out of my brain. I just want to move out of here. But see, there's really no point of spending all the resources and time and energy to move if they're going to follow you and stay with you till you... They literally are acting as if they want to die with me. You know? And I think I've lost half the hair on my head. They're trying to take away my looks. They're ruining my art career. You know, my only hope is that I can use this money to get away from them. I envy people that can get up, go out in the day, and believe that they're free, or some of them are free. I had 2 days off, 3 days off. I went to a protest for women. Came home. I've been in my pajamas ever since. Cleaned the fish tanks, the filters, cleaned the house, made some cookies. I mean, this is a mediocre life that I live because of gang stalking. And I love my betta fish. You know, this is one of the strongest betta fish I've ever had. And I swore, I love him so much. He's, you know, he's so tiny and fragile. He never really seemed fragile until I had kept getting these other bettas and they didn't live. I swear, I talked to him and I'm like, I'm gonna take you with me if we escape. But you can't take him with you. You can't take him on the airplane. And he looks at me. Sometimes when I haven't seen him in a while, he looks like he's happy to see me. So, exactly where Brian 2 is, I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go there to live. And imagine having pedophiles, rapists, sexist white supremacists, lesbian gay welfare mothers, child molesters, crack addicts, cocaine addicts, crack dealers, the scum of the community, watching you in one of the most beautiful places and torturing you, verbally assaulting you, raping you, mind controlling you, and basically a land where you have to have good feet, a strong body just to walk in it. I'll give you an example. When I was in Escape to Morocco, and on that other channel, you can see me. I was so miserable, depressed. I cried. I was sleep deprived. They raped me and they tortured me from Ohio. It was the worst. I don't know who these black people are. And this is not hate speech. This is the truth. And this is why this other channel, I can't make videos. They're saying that I'm spewing hate speech because I'm exposing black criminality. It's black psychopathy. That they are abusing me worse, even worse than the people from Kettering, which is predominantly, white gang stalking network or whatever. They're trying to tell me what to say. I'm so tired of it. I just want to escape.